Jared, I talked to you on the phone a few weeks ago, and you talked about how you were not only not phased about the idea of, the Brazilian crowd, but you were actually kind of excited. How has it been? Like, have you been able to gauge anything since you've been here? How has the experience been so far for Fight Week?
For now, it's been amazing. The Brazilians have received me. I haven't interacted with a lot of Brazilians, but the few that I have interacted with, they've been very respectful, very supportive of both me and my opponent. Of course, they're natural Anderson Silva fans, and it's expected. But they're happy to see that I'm here. They're happy that they're going to get a good fight.
When we talked also, I think obviously everybody asked you about what is it like to face Anderson Silva, because there's kind of a huge weight that comes with it and a legacy, and being a co-main event in Brazil. And what you said was that you're very much able to kind of forget that and just tune that out and just focus on the task at hand. But now that Fight Week is here, have you experienced any, I wouldn't say nerves, but have the emotions kicked in, anything of that sort already?
No, business as usual. Business as usual. I don't get nervous for fights. I know what to. You can expect the best or you can expect the worst. And like I told you on the phone, I've already accepted all of those ramifications of stepping in the octagon with a guy like Anderson Silva. So it won't be nothing new. I visualized every possible outcome. Like Doctor Strange from Infinity Wars. I'm sitting there thinking about what's going to happen, and yeah, I'm ready for whatever.
And how many universes do you beat Anderson?
Every last one of them.
I was listening, and you mentioned that you had kind of a rough time, getting here. You had problems with your luggage, and how a few obstacles. How has the past few weeks have been for you?
Well, there's always an obstacle, right?
Yeah.
So this is my first time. I haven't been here for Fight Week. Been here to do my job without the tools that I need to do my job. But surrounded by really good people. My cornermen came prepared. They had extra gear for me to use, and we got the job done. We're still getting the job done. So I'm ready. I'm going to be ready.
And you're able to because it's the type of thing that gets annoying, but it's not a good time to get annoyed. So you're able to really tune that out.
Yeah, when I first realized that my bag wasn't here, it was really frustrating at first. But that lasted for 20 minutes. And then, I had to resynchronize and get back to business. I was ready on my way to the, it was a good drive, a very good drive from the airport, a beautiful view outside the window. And, I'm just taking in that energy, looking at the beauty, all the greenery and stuff right here, all the people walking around. And just, accept all the positives and take all the negatives and convert them into positives. So, like I always do, something bad happens, something good is going to happen, bound to happen. So.
And again, we have to think when we talk Anderson Silva, if you look at his record right now, it doesn't look amazing. But at the same time, we know how huge he is as a name. He feels like he's always right there for a title shot. How do you feel you're coming off a pretty big win in your middleweight debut? How do you feel a win here? What does that do for you in the division?
Well, it's definitely going to bring a lot of attention. Just fighting Anderson is bringing a lot of attention, but beating him is definitely going to bring a whole lot more attention. And what else? It could potentially bring me closer to a fight, especially a dominant performance over a guy like that. It's definitely going to raise some eyebrows. I've said it before, the UFC already sees the potential, It's just a matter of figuring out what that potential is for everybody else. I know what that is. And that's, that's me sitting at the very top of the hill.
We also talked about the process of this matchup coming together. You were expecting to fight Jacare, and they gave you Anderson. And I think people were a little maybe surprised. I don't think it's the matchup that maybe everybody was expecting for Anderson. Do you feel like maybe you have been flying under the radar in the UFC? You've had quite a few fights there already.
Yeah, this will be my 9th fight. I'm not flamboyant or anything like that. I'm not going to sit here and think of an answer and figure out what's going to make the people say ooh and ah or anything like that. I'm not here to really please the crowd. I'm here purely to please myself. I love to fight. I love to train. I love doing it on the biggest stage in the world too. That's a blessing right there. But Again, my goal is to wins on top of wins on top of wins, which will eventually lead to a belt, which will sooner rather than later lead to my ultimate goal, which is financial liberation. Not stability. I ain't trying to be financially stable. I'm trying to be financially liberated. So that's my goal.
And we talked about the crowd, and so far so good. But I think that, I mean, you're probably expecting it to be loud because it's always loud, but with Anderson, it's maybe a little louder. Do you prepare for that at all? Like I've heard like fighters telling that they had, teammates shout "Vai morrer" and things like that, so that they got used to it. Did you like prepare, visualize, like how are you handling that part?
I don't have to deal with it. That's them saying some stuff, and I don't speak Portuguese, so no habla Portuguese, or it's Spanish and Portuguese. Yeah, no disrespect or anything like that, but the fans are going to do what the fans do. I completely understand. They're going to be behind their guy 100%, and as long as they don't inhibit me from getting in that octagon, it's all good.
I kind of already know the answer to this one, but how do you see this one playing out on Saturday?
Me with my hand raised, no matter how, preferably a knockout in the first round, first 10 seconds, first exchange, easy night, 2 paychecks, 3 preferably.
You don't want a war?
Huh?
You don't want a war like
that? I never want a war. I don't train for wars. Training is a war. We're prepared for it, but my goal is not to get in there and exchange and get hit. I want a flawless victory, And like I said before, if I can get a fatality, even more so, even more better.